Okay, let's do this. Haha. Goedemorgen. Oh, I'm sorry. I just started in Dutch. I guess it's just what I do. Good morning, everyone. Okay. Let me check everything. It looks all great here. Perfect. Okay. Let me see. Good. Very good. Okay. Just gonna start this one here. Okie dokie. So we got about 4 minutes until we are getting started with the stream. So if you're tuning in now, just get yourself ready, make sure you have a yoga mat. It's much more easy to do yoga on an actual yoga mat because it has this grip. You don't slip so easily. And especially in the beginning, it's very nice to have a firm grip because all the poses, all the positions are new and your body needs to get used to that. Okay, so if you have no mat at all or a very slippery one, the postures are much more difficult because your body doesn't really, find its way, find its balance. And an actual yoga mat has a lot of grip, so it's easier to keep practicing in a pose without the danger of slipping, getting into an actual split or something accidentally. You don't want that. Really, we really don't want that. Okay, so if you are serious about doing yoga every now and then, make sure you get a yoga mat. And you have them in all shapes and sizes. There's nothing wrong if you buy a very cheap one, as long as it has some grip. I think this is a very cheap one as well, but it works. And you have them very expensive, and then sometimes with extra grip, it's really nice as well. So just make sure you find a yoga mat that suits you. If you're just tuning in, good morning. Good morning, welcome to the stream. We're gonna do a Hatha Yoga stream this morning with the warriors. Those are the poses. There are three warriors actually, and all three of them are poses from Hatha Yoga, and they have a lot of variations. So we're gonna try them. We're gonna try them all three of them with all the variations, and so you can find what you like, how it feels, if your body enjoys it, or if you'd rather just do something completely different. That's all good. If you're tuning in now, just make sure you have your mat ready. You can sit down, sorry. You can sit down, you can relax for a little bit, just, kind of land here. For me, it's morning, it's 8:45, almost. And maybe for you it's morning as well, maybe for you some completely different time of the day. But warriors are always a good thing to do in doing yoga. They're very strong poses, very powerful. But they can be very easy. It's not difficult to do them. Welcome this morning. If you're joining us right now, we're going to do a yoga stream with the warrior poses. Make sure you have yoga mat ready, and if sitting like this is uncomfortable, use something to lift your hips. Okay, so a cushion or a folded blanket. You can always start in a chair. If you are at home especially, it's easy to just take a chair and go from there. But it could be that it's nice to sit on something else if you're sitting on a chair all day. I'm sorry, that was a sneeze. I keep sneezing this morning, I don't know why. I think because the sun is in my eye a little bit. Okay, let me get that for a second, I'm sorry. No idea how that works on a microphone. Okay. That is difficult when the mic is at your face. Okay guys, let's get started. I hope you're all ready. I hope you're all sitting right now on your yoga mat. Let's get started, okay. Make sure you can sit comfortable, right? It's always the start at the yoga class, whether we're starting lying down, sitting or standing up. Make sure you're comfortable. You can close your eyes. Start with a few deep breaths, easy and soft inhalation, long exhalation. You're kind of telling your body that way that you're ready for a moment of awareness, a moment of very conscious moving. You could be aware of all the thoughts in your head and all the things that are asking for your attention in your life right now. There's nothing you need to push away. There's nothing you need to deny. You just don't have to engage right now. So you can try to only engage in this moment, and you can try to feel how you are sitting on the mat, how you're breathing. Or maybe this morning your breath goes very fast, or slower than you're used to. It's okay, just notice what happens. There's nothing you need to change, there's nothing you need to prove or improve right now. Just try to breathe easily through the nose, and if you want to breathe out through the mouth, make an S or an F sound, just to make sure you keep control over your exhale so it doesn't go too fast. Try to relax the belly, as always. Try to keep the breathing slow and steady, and if you relax your belly, you'll notice that the breathing instantly goes down a little bit and slows down as well. You might feel your belly moving along with your breath. You can always put a hand on your belly just to feel that movement. It's not very much. Sometimes it's just very slight movement of the belly going inwards and outwards over. Maybe there's something this morning that you need to pay some extra attention to. Maybe you notice when you keep your attention on your body that you feel something that needs attention. Maybe there's some ache in your knee from yesterday or from tonight. Maybe you feel your back is quite stiff, you need to be careful warming it up. Maybe you feel very warm and loose when you just get out of bed, and usually your body is quite warm. It could also be very, very stiff, so be careful when you move to just keep it soft and go stronger along the way. Take a few more breaths, and when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes again. Okay. We're going to stand up, so take your time, just standing up from the mat. Standing tall, you can keep your feet a bit wider than the hips. So you're standing very, very firmly. You can bend the knees a little bit. And then we're gonna just go swing the arms from side to side. And you can really try to let the arms relax. So you start a movement from the hips, from the muscles in the belly. Just going from side to side. Very good. You can slowly let them go. Take your time, just let the movement die like that. Very good. Keep breathing. So try to keep the breathing slow all the way there. Okay. I'm going to move the arms one by one, front, upwards and backwards. Just moving. Keep it stretched. If you feel that's too much, keep it halfway. Okay? If your shoulders are painful, halfway stretches. Okay, very good. We're going to do the same thing to the front, one by one. Let's just roll them all the way up and to the front. Wake up the shoulders, wake up the arms, wake up the blood flow there. Very good. Okay, let's let them roll. We're going to do a little mind trick. Bring the arms both up. And then we're going to bring one down to the front and one towards the back. So if I stand like this, one goes to the back, one goes to the front, they cross below and then they come back up. So you have two arms going opposite directions. It might feel a bit weird. If it's difficult, start on top and then you let one fall. One falls down to the front, one falls down to the back. Whoosh, and then they cross. If you can do it, we're going to do the other way as well. So the other one goes to the front or to the back. I don't remember which one I did, but you can do it either with the left hand going to the front, right hand going to the front, whatever works, and you can switch it up a little bit every few rounds. Okay, you try that for a second, I'll be right back. You can relax the arms again. I got a little bit of hay fever, so it keeps it easy. Sorry guys. Okay, put the hands on the hips and we're going to roll the hips all the way back and front, sideways. Try to keep the feet firmly on the ground, facing the front. So you kind of sort of pay attention to the big toe. Keep that one on the floor. Then usually you will find your balance and it helps to feel how far you can roll. So try to roll the whole body, right? You can, usually women, they can really roll their hips like this. That's a different roll. You want to keep the body kind of stiff, only on the hips. You keep the knees bended so they can roll along. You know, knees can't roll, but they have to learn for this one a little bit. So try to keep them bended so that they actually can do it. We're going to do the other way as well. Let's roll the other way. Just keep on rolling, rolling, rolling. Okay. We're there. Just let the movement die out. You can wiggle if you feel you want to just shake your arms and legs, you know, just to warm up. Maybe there's a completely different movement you like to make before we're going to start the actual yoga moves, because this was kind of, you know, warming up, doing silly stuff, which can be really fun too, and it's actually a very important part of yoga, but that's for another time. Okay, we're going to go to the first warrior, warrior one. You can take a step back with the right foot. Try to bring the weight on the left one as always. Stretch out the right towards the back, keep the left one bended. You can always stretch the arm out front, it might be easier to keep the balance. And once your toe is touching the ground, the weight comes along towards the back. That's always the same technique in taking a step back. And then you can, if you want, you can put your feet a little bit more outwards. So left towards the left, right towards the right. That way you have some more room. It's more stable usually. And you have some room to turn the hips forward. Let the hips face the front of your mat. You can keep the hands together in front of the heart. both legs stretched out. And then we're going to sink down, so you keep the weight on both feet equally. And in order to kind of sink, the front knee needs to bend. So you slightly bend the front knee, and you keep the weight in the middle. Because what happens a lot is that you gotta lean forward when you bend the front knee. Try to keep the weight on both feet. Stretch out the back leg. Try to relax your shoulders. And you still want to try and keep the back long. And in order to do that, you need to push your tailbone down, bring your navel slightly up. And it's a movement that's quite difficult in this position because the back leg is stretched out like this. So there's not much room for your pelvis to actually turn, to twist. But to twist, please don't twist, to turn, bring it up or back. But try to make that movement anyway, so you can engage the muscles. When you breathe in, you can bring the arms all the way up, stretch yourself out, and then release the shoulders a little bit back into the back, so you don't have the shoulders all the way up, only the arms long. If you want, you can open them, bring your fingers out wide. It's a different feeling. Keep on breathing. Next breath out, bring the arms all the way towards the back. You can interlace the fingers if you want, keep the wrists together if you do, or you can hold your elbows. It's all good. And make a slight back bend. Again, bring the tailbone down, navel up, just so that you don't compromise your lower back. And just lift your sternum. Lift your sternum. If you want to look up, you can look up, otherwise bring your chin to your chest. Make sure you can still breathe, okay? It's okay if it's a little bit more difficult, or if you feel like, okay, I need to work on this, no worries. But make sure the breathing can continue. We breathe in, come back up, release the hands, bring them all the way back, all the way up. And from this one, we're going to Warrior 3, which is a balancing pose on the front leg. I'm going to come a little bit more towards the back, so you can stand in the middle, it might be easier. Warrior 3 you can make in different positions as well. You can keep the arms up, which is kind of hard for the shoulders. You can also bring them back down, hands in front of your heart. If all else fails, just put your hands on your hips, okay? That's the easiest one. So try to slowly bring the weight onto the front foot. Keep the back leg, so in this case the right leg, stretched out. Make a long back, so you make a line. And if you want, you can slightly lift up the back toe. You don't have to. There's no rule that says you can keep your toe on the floor. The most important thing is that you keep your balance. So try to find a pose where you can actually keep your balance. It's okay if you fall down, but if you keep falling down every second, you're making the posture too difficult. The balance is more important than the difficulty of the posture. It doesn't matter how difficult you make it. If this is difficult for you, then this is your pose, okay? So try to keep it a little bit out of your comfort zone, but not so much that it's too difficult. Okay, we're going to come back to Warrior 1, stretch out the back leg, bring your foot towards the floor, and once you're there, when you breathe out, relax the arms. When you breathe in, you come back to the front of your mat. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale, maybe 2 or 3. Try to notice what happens. What's happening in your body, what's happening in your mind, how is the breath going. So you take a moment to reflect, okay? You reflect on the pose, you reflect on how it worked for you. It's very important to take that time, because that's what yoga is about. You know, the awareness that we're trying to kind of learn our body to work with. Okay, we're going to do the other side. You ready? If you want to wiggle in between, shake the legs or anything, just go for it. It's important that you lose the tension you build up, if you build it up. Okay, take a moment in front of your mat. Then we're going to come back with your left leg, sorry. So step back, all the way back with the left leg on the floor. Make some more room if you want to. Continue like this a little bit. Hands in front of your heart, and then you bend the front knee. You sink in with the body. Keep the weight on both feet. Try to relax your toes. Long back. So tailbone down, navel up. You can relax the shoulders. Just make sure that you find strength in the body and not too much tension. You need strength because it's a very strong, active pose. But you know, grabbing the mat with your toes is tension. So it's a fine line, and sometimes it just takes a lot of practice to find out when there's strength in your body and when there's tension. Bring the arms up if you want to, otherwise just keep them in front of your heart. Keep the front knee bended. And when you breathe out, two arms can go all the way towards the back. Interlace the fingers or hold the elbows, whichever is more comfortable for you. And we're going to slide back. Again, if it feels uncomfortable, it's okay. If it hurts in the back, you come back up. You don't make a back bend. Keep the breathing towards the belly. Breathe in, come back up. Bring the arms up, and we're going to warrior three. So get ready to balance on the front foot. Try to keep the hips in line, so don't open the left hip. Keep it straight. And just see where you end up. Sometimes it's just a little bit, sometimes you can go a bit further. Really depends on your day as well, I've noticed. Sometimes I feel very, very balanced, very strong. I can just easily do that warrior three. And sometimes it takes me way more strength and difficulty to keep my balance. And that's okay. Just go with the day, go with the moment, accept that moment. Slowly coming back to warrior one. And once you're there, when you breathe out, relax the arms. Breathe in, step to the front, take a breath. Take a moment again. Maybe just notice your heartbeat, you know. Maybe you just notice that your body feels kind of warmed up, ready to go. The feelings you experience are always just that. You experience them. It's your thing, it's your party. So there's no right or wrong, okay? You just want to notice what's happening. Okay. You can come to the front of your mat and then take a step back. So you have some room in front of you. It's nice, we're going to do a balancing pose with one hand on the floor later. It's nice to have your hand on the mat. Could be on the floor, it doesn't really matter, but notice it's nicer. Okay. I'm going to come back with the right foot again. So take a big step back, right foot on the floor, and then you can open the toes towards the longer side, the side of the mat. You can bring the arms out wide. Try to keep the feet in one line. And then we're slowly going to bend the front knee. Okay, we're going to go toward this warrior two. Very important in this warrior is to open the front knee. So open it all the way, like you kind of point it towards your little toe. Keep the arms in line with the shoulders. Try not to bring the shoulders up, but relax the shoulders. You use more of the shoulder blades and the muscles on your back to keep this pose. When you breathe in, you're slowly going to make a side bend, which kind of feels like a back bend maybe. Moving towards the side, keeping the arms in line. If you want to, you can watch over the front hand, over the front fingers, all the way up. You breathe out, slowly come back to warrior two. And then we're going to go into a half moon pose, which is a balancing pose, which can be difficult, it's okay. We're going to bring the right hand on our side, so it doesn't bother us. And then we're slowly going to bring the left hand all the way down to the floor. Make sure you have some room between the front foot and the front hand, okay? It's important that you keep some space there. And then you can walk the back foot all the way towards the front until you feel you have some balance. And you can lift the back leg. You don't have to. Again, you can keep your toe on the floor. If you feel steady, you can raise your right hand all the way up into the air. Half moon pose. Okay. Keep on breathing. When you breathe out, slowly come back. And I do mean slowly, so you bend the front knee. Keep your balance. Bring your right foot down towards the floor. You kind of come back into warrior two. Okay, I know this is tough, okay? It's okay. We're just gonna practice. When you breathe out, relax the hands. And when you breathe in, you come back towards the front. Again, deep breath in. All the way out. Try to feel what you need, okay? So if you need to wiggle, just wiggle your feet, wiggle your legs. And then we're going to go the other way. So left leg back. So I'm not facing you guys right now. You can do it. Try to keep the feet in line, arms up. And then you relax down a little bit so the front knee bends. Keep the arms in line. Keep breathing. If you want, you can already turn your head towards your left hand. Towards your right hand, so you watch the front. And then slowly make that side bend. Back hands going down, front hands going up. As far as you like, right? So you can make it very small, you can make it a bit larger. Don't let your hand rest on your leg, because then it's not part of the posture anymore. Okay, so you want to keep them active. Breathe out. Slowly come back. We're going into half moon pose. Left hand on the hips. Right hand goes all the way down to the floor, and you walk the back leg all the way towards the front. Take your time. And once you feel you have balance, you slowly lift the left leg. You open the hips. So you kind of put, in this case, the left hip on top of the right hip. And if you feel balance, stretch out your left hand. Keep breathing. You're doing great. I know you're doing great. Keep your feet, your toe on the floor if you feel this way too much. You can always practice this pose against the wall, so you don't fall backwards, okay? Slowly coming back down. Bend the front knee until you feel your toe touching the ground again. Up to warrior two. Breathe out, relax the arms. Breathe in, come to the front. And take a few in and exhalations. All the way in. All the way out. And then you might feel like you want to wiggle your legs. You know, shake your body a little bit. It's a good, especially if the pose is difficult, you build up a lot of tension in your body, because your body's like, what are we going to do? We need to protect ourselves. And it's very normal, it happens all the time, it's very much okay. Just make sure you can release again. Make sure you can relax, okay? You can release the tension. Make sure you don't bring it to the next pose. Okay, take your time coming to a sitting position. Okay. Just stretch out your legs in front of you. And if you want, you can slightly bend them. Because we're going to try and touch our toes. It's not the point of touching them, it's making the back straight. But sometimes it's hard to get the toes, so bend the knees as far as you need in order to kind of touch your toes. Stretch out the back so make a long back. And sometimes it's very easy if you have very long muscles, like if your hamstrings are very long, your glute muscles are very long, it's very easy to stretch the legs and grab the toes. If they're a little bit shorter, it might be easier to bend the knees, otherwise you're pulling from the back, and make sure you don't pull your back because that's very, very uncomfortable for the back. So you want to keep it long. Okay, keep breathing, a few more breaths. Amazing, very good. When you breathe out, slowly let go, stretch out the legs, and we're going to lay on our back, okay? So come onto your back. Once you're there, you can lift both knees towards your chest. You can hold the right one, and then you're going to stretch out the left one all the way to the ground. So just let it rest on the ground. And once it touches the ground, you can relax it, okay? You can wiggle it a little bit if you want. Just make sure you can relax the left leg. Hold the right one. Very, very good. Just keep the right one in. Keep it relaxed. So both legs are relaxed. Here you don't have to make sure every part is active. Here you can actually make sure as many parts of your body as are able to can relax. Okay, so you need some strength in your hands to keep the knee up. But basically every other part of your body can completely relax. Okay. Slowly bring the left knee back in. Then you hold the left one, and then you can just stretch out the right, start wherever you want. Stretch it all the way down. Once the right leg touches the floor, you can just relax. You can wiggle it if you want, otherwise just let it kind of hang. Try to keep the breath slow and full, all the way towards the belly. Another sneeze. They just visit me whenever they like. Bring the right knee back in, so two knees all the way up. And if you want to, you can just roll them a little bit. You know, this is one exercise we do a lot, just because it's so comfy for the lower back. It's so comfy to just roll it on the floor. For most people, if the lower back is painful, might not be comfortable, try to find out if it does work. Like sometimes it's uncomfortable, but it's actually very, very helpful, very healing. Or if it makes it worse, if it's painful, it usually makes it worse, because pain is a line you don't want to cross in your body. But uncomfortable, that's okay. That might just means that your body needs to get used to it, or that it's tight and sensitive. Okay. Slowly bring both feet to the floor, and then you let them slide away from you, one by one. You can open the feet a little bit so they fall outwards, that way your hips can relax. You can bring the hands on your belly, or if you want to, you can bring them outwards on the floor. We're going into Shavasana, final resting pose, final relaxation pose of a yoga practice. And if you fall asleep during Shavasana, which happens sometimes, you can do it sitting up. Okay, so you sit up and you kind of lean against something. It's quite important that you try to not fall asleep during Shavasana, because then you lose that awareness, and it's a very different state in your brain, whether you sleep or you're in Shavasana. So try to keep your consciousness here. Try to be aware of how you are lying down right now, touching the ground, how you're breathing. Not because you're trying to be hard on yourself, but because you want to teach your body that it can relax, that it can lay down like this, but it doesn't mean it needs to fall asleep. You don't have to lose that awareness. You can relax with awareness, which can help you to relax even deeper. If you feel the heaviness of your body, you feel the heaviness of your feet, your legs and your hips, your whole upper body, your head. It can be a very calming feeling, very calming idea of not having to keep strength or balance. Just to breathe. All you have to do, even that, just goes on its own. There's nothing you have to do. There's no goal here. You can feel, be aware, without doing. I'm going to take one more deep breath here. All the way in, all the way out. So you're kind of making the awareness larger. You're kind of starting to feel the air around you, the mat or the surface you're touching right now. Try to become aware of the noises around you, any sounds you hear, the light shining through your eyelids. And then try to make some movements. You might want to wiggle your toes, stretch yourself out. Anything you need to make yourself fully aware and awake again. And if you want to, you can roll onto your side and slowly roll back up. But because we're doing a short Shavasana, you can also just roll up through the front. Okay, whatever feels comfortable for you. There's no rule, but if you're in Shavasana longer, always try to come up through your right side. Okay, so you roll to the right side, you stay there for a few breaths, and then you come up. I'm sorry for the sniffing, guys. Okay. Once you're sitting up, you sit up straight. Close your eyes, take a few moments again. And if you want to go into meditation right now, just turn off the stream or turn off the video. And you can go into meditation. Otherwise, you can take just like a minute to reflect on this class for you. Which means you kind of try to feel in your body, what are the physical sensations that I notice? Are they new? Were they here before? Did I just notice them? And what kind of thoughts, what kind of feelings, emotions are coming up? Because sometimes a posture or a movement can bring up emotions. Emotion is literally emotion. It has to do with movement, and it has to do with inner movements as well as outer physical movements. That's why they're so connected. Okay, so if you feel emotional after class, any emotion, any swing in your mood, could be because of the postures, because of the breathing. So whatever comes up, whatever you feel, try to acknowledge it without changing, without improving. Just know it's there. Take a few more breaths, and then you can slowly bring your hands in front of your heart. And again here you can take a moment to thank yourself. You make time out of your day to pay attention, to be aware, to give some love to your body, to your mind, and to your soul. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, this morning. I hope you had a good time. Some of the poses might have been a bit difficult. That's okay. See it as a practice, as playing with your own body and with the postures. There's no goal, there's no result that you need to get. It's just play. If you have any questions or any feedback, if there's anything you'd like to share with me, just leave it in the comments and I will always answer. Otherwise, I hope you're having a good day, and we're having another stream tomorrow at 5 p.m. It's going to be a very, very, very relaxed yoga stream, okay? So no difficult or hard poses. We're just gonna unwind for the weekend. So I hope to see you there. I'm just gonna come a little closer. Okay. Hope you guys had a good time, and I'll see you on the next stream. Okay? Bye bye.